Well, if you missed this yesterday, you really missed some good fireworks. Dana Bash over in CNN.
It was good TV, right?
It was wonderful TV. Had RFK Jr. on, and they got into discussing vaccinations. And RFK, and in particular in the aftermath of Anthony Fauci's refusal to answer any questions in front of Congress, trying to get to the bottom of how the COVID-19 lockdowns worked and how all that came to be. And at one point, RFK Jr. starts grilling her and says, wait, is it your responsibility to end vaccine hesitation, or is it your responsibility to actually tell the truth? Here's a clip of that exchange.
We began censoring people in violation of the First Amendment.
But I'm not, you're saying what not to do. I'm asking what to do. But I want to talk about...
Well, that's something to do. That is the #1 priority. We protect the Constitution. The Constitution was written...
Forgive me, but you're talking about rights, and I'm asking about a potential public health crisis that is coming. But I do want to...
And one of the mistakes we made in the last time was suppressing those rights so people weren't being heard. The doctors who were saying you're doing it wrong were being marginalized and vilified.
Yeah,
and
because again, I really want to move on, but
yeah,
you were saying you were
yes, you were part of the problem.
No, I wasn't part of the problem.
There was absolute press malpractice. You weren't allowing your
Mr. Secretary,
your job is a fierce skepticism toward authority. And you weren't doing that. You were beating up on people who were dissenting.
No. Okay. Are you want to sit here and attack me, or do you want to have conversations about public health? I'm not attacking you. I'm asking questions about how to prevent the next pandemic.
You're talking nonsense. You're making assertions you can't support, and then when I call you on them, you're telling me that I'm arguing.
Okay. Do you want to talk about assertions that you can't support? I'll get there in a second. Let me just say, for the record, that I am not saying that the entire way that the COVID reaction was accurate. It was a scary time, and people made mistakes.
No. A mistake is me putting on the wrong color tie. These people decided that they were going to tell the public one thing, but in their private journals, they knew the truth. And so, I think this is what the American people are tired of. We see a scandal, something that is harmful to not only the American people, but their children as well. They tell us all of these lies, and then when the facts come out, they just want to move on. And so there's never an atonement, Ainsley, for the mistakes that they made during that period of time.
Well, here's the thing. If you're going to have him on as a guest, just let him talk. I want to hear what he has to say, because I don't trust the government after watching Fauci in the Biden administration or in any of these Democratic administrations where Republicans were saying, no, this is the truth. And he's saying, if you take the vaccine, you will not get COVID.
Which was a lie.
Then he gets COVID. Then it's a lie. Then we all did the vaccine, or many people did, and then got COVID after that. So we listened to them. Now I want to hear the other side. I want to hear what RFK Jr. has to say. He studies this. In that exchange, he said, you're not an expert. She said, well, you're not either. You're not a doctor. You're not a doctor. But he is an expert on this. This is what he does for a living, and he has studied this. And I just want to hear his point of view. Yes, you can have another doctor on that can argue against it. I want to hear them talk. I want to hear the experts talk. I just want to hear from him. I mean, he's been the one that's standing up for our kids when it comes to the food, getting dyes out of the foods. I do want to hear from him, and I trust him with much of this information.
Yeah, and obviously he asks a lot of troubling questions, and he always has. He did it with his law career before he got into government. He's always asked very difficult questions about vaccines, about all this kind of stuff. But what I think is really interesting is if Dana Bash and these people want to talk about the dangers of vaccine hesitancy, nobody did more damage
100%.
to public health and raised more questions about vaccine hesitancy than the government officials who pushed a vaccine that didn't work and made promises we now know they knew that it didn't
And Charlie, per capita, we fared the worst as a country compared to every other country. Per capita, we were the worst. America was.
But it also goes to the point also that RFK was making, because she keeps going at him about asking these questions. That used to be the media's job. Yeah. They used to didn't have lunch and dinner with the people that were in power. They were the ones asking them the tough questions. And maybe if they did their job the last time, we wouldn't be in this mess. Meanwhile, we realized that Jake Tapper, which is at her network as well, was going back and forth with Fauci, making fun of us on our network about asking the tough questions. So there's a lot of learning that needs to be done from this situation.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.